And we're recording. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thrashers Paradise. I am joined this evening, as I'm recording this, with an amazing bass player of an amazing band. This is Joel, and he is part of St. Catharines slash Niagara region, progressive, death, mellow death, just a whole bunch of genres. We're joined with Joel of Varius. Joel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Colin. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and it's a pleasure to have a member of Varius on the channel. And right off the bat, I want to compliment your band because you all are amazing musicians and you create very amazing songs. And I can confidently say every song has its own identity because Varius doesn't have a set genre-specific style they go with. They're a bit of everything.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, man. Thank you for saying that. That's really pretty much the whole concept of the band. You know, when we first formed, when our guitar player Patrick kind of approached me to start playing his own material, that's what he told me. He said, I don't want to be pigeonholed into any one kind of heavy metal genre or subgenre. I like heavy music and I want to play any kind of heavy music as long as it has some sort of sense of groove, and that's basically what we go for.
Excellent. Now, for you, after having that discussion about it being just an open book of metal genres, does it make it a lot of fun in the writing process for creating the new songs just to create something and not know what it's going to turn out to be in the end?
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool because we, as a band, each of our individual four members have a very diverse taste across the heavy metal spectrum, right? So even if, let's say, I'm bringing a song in one direction to the table, it's still really refreshing for me to hear what the other guys are bringing to the table. Maybe, like in my case, I like to hear some more of the extreme stuff come from them because I don't normally listen to that myself. And then all of a sudden to be put into playing it, it's really refreshing and challenging, and it keeps things moving for me. It's really cool.
Excellent. Now, I brought you on here today because you are releasing a brand new EP called Concordance, and it comes out November 5th. It's a 4-track EP, which Varius is very used to putting out, as your last release in 29th of April 2019 was The Great Tribulation. That was a 4-track EP. And then before that, back in 2017, it was a 3-track EP, Red Messenger. So for you guys, what is it with you guys going in this fellowship of releasing EPs over a full length?
I think it's just been the way it's been happening so far. Like that first Red Messenger EP that you mentioned, that was supposed to be kind of our first demo almost, and that's why it was short. It was just supposed to get down our first few ideas. And then to do the Great Tribulation after that, I think it was just a matter of being manageable, you know, easy 4 songs, not too much of a commitment to go full into producing a full album. I mean, that would be great, and I'm sure you could approach it in a lot of ways creatively, but I just think it's more manageable for us. We're 4 full-time working guys, you know, this is what we do for fun, and I think to bang out these smaller releases, it's just a little more straightforward for the way we do things, I guess.
That honestly makes complete sense, and I get that.
Yeah, that's just pretty much the way it's been so far. Maybe one day we'll do a full length. It remains to be seen, I guess.
You not know, but as I mentioned, you have a good consistency. Every 2 years, you seem to be releasing something. As I mentioned, Red Messenger was 2017, The Great Tribulation 2019, and now 2 years later, Concordance. So for you guys, what made you want to get the EP out this year?
Well, it's funny. I guess it's everyone's same story all over the place, given the pandemic and everything. But this would have been out probably a lot sooner. In fact, one of the last things we did before everything shut down for the pandemic was record the drums for this EP. We did that right at the end of February, and then in March everything was shut down, and then that caused all this delay for when we tried to get in and record the guitar and bass tracks. It just took forever and a lot of rescheduling, and you know, it's the same story all around the world. But I guess it would have come out sooner. And then you think, why now? Well, it's really hard to wait. You know, we created this, we wanted to share it, and we can't just sit on it for too long. You know what I mean? It's got to come out sometime, and thankfully it's looking really good. That like as in the next few months at least, or into early 2022, hopefully we'll be able to start playing shows more consistently to share the songs with people for sure.
I hope to see you guys live next year because you're a band I look forward to seeing live very soon.
I really hope to be playing very soon. So as soon as we can, we hope to see you out there.
Thank you. I look forward to meeting you in person one day too. But what I love about St. Catharines in particular, and I think you might agree with me with this, is you have probably one of the better local venues that out of a lot of the cities in Southern Ontario. And of course, I'm referring to the Warehouse.
Yeah.
What makes the Warehouse so special for the metal community?
Well, just speaking how it is as a room, as a venue, and the way it sounds, it's a really good sounding room. It's got a great PA system. It's a really simple room, just a straight dance floor and a stage and a bar. Like, what more do you need? So, you know, it's nice and tight once you get a lot of people in there, and it just feels good as a home kind of base venue. We've played there a bunch of times. It's been great every time. And then also, I just think the way it's been managed and promoted, Eric Dixon, the owner and main promoter, is a really solid guy, and he's been working really hard to connect the community and get a lot of great shows, get a lot of great bands performing. So really, I think it comes down to good management and a lot of good support from the bands and the people who are willing to come out and play.
Excellent. I've been to the Warehouse twice, and I do have to say, out of all the local venues I go to see the unsigned and independent bands, it's one of the nicer ones. It's a great venue to go to as a fan because there's so much room to work with. It's not difficult to find. And of all things, there's parking. There's
Yes.
a good sized parking lot to work with.
Very important for sure. Yeah, definitely.
My next question is about one of the last singles you released before the pandemic, PISS, or as I call it, Piss.
Yes.
It was the last thing that got released before, you know, we entered the new decade and all that. My main question really is, what does PISS stand for?
It's the song was written by our guitar player Patrick. He says it stands for "Put in Something Special." And if you listen or if you read the lyrics for Piss, it's kind of almost like a motivational piece, like almost like a put your best foot forward, give it a lot of effort. So I think that's where it comes from. The put in something special, as in put in a bit of effort, do your best. But really the punchline for the song, It's All Piss, suggests that really you can work as hard as you want, but in the end, you can't take yourself too seriously, right? And that's really what I think the song is about. It's kind of this combination of a motivational thing, but also a very tongue-in-cheek, like, hey, let's just enjoy life. Nobody should take themselves too seriously. Let's have fun with what we do, kind of thing. It's a party song.
Yeah. And speaking of something special, this song also has a music video that goes with it.
Yeah.
What was it like to record that music video?
That music video was really fun. Again, part of the whole point with the concept of the song was to not take it too seriously at all, which is why it's really silly. The kind of visual concept we went for was basically, if I may say it, an asshole producer, music producer, kind of giving us a hard time during the recording process. And you can, if you watch the video, he's giving us a hard time grabbing guitars out of our hands and stuff like that. And so it was really just to be really tongue-in-cheek and funny and have a funny kind of take on a toxic relationship between a band and a idiot producer. So we had a lot of fun with it. I know you've interviewed with Duskwalker before. Cale Costello, the drummer in Duskwalker, was the main actor for the producer.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That is a cool little fact that I now know.
Yeah, man. He had a lot of fun with it. And actually, he brought a lot to the table as far as ideas go for that one. So we owe that video, or a lot about that video, to him, for sure.
Excellent. Now, I keep talking about the past and the past when we should be talking about the now, and now is Concordance, coming out November 5th. For you, as the musician and a writer of the album, which song are you most looking forward to for the fans to hear first?
I'm really excited for fans to hear the first song, Golden Crown.
Mhm.
For a little bit of a selfish reason, honestly, because I wrote the bulk of the song. The main concept of this EP, by the way, I don't know if we've mentioned it already, but each member of the band contributed one song, and we each sort of led the way
Mhm.
on each one of our songs. So that makes me really excited for people to hear what I kind of went for. But at the same time, I really love what my bandmates did. And I'm going to mention the song Gut Shoveler, which is the last song on the EP, which was written by Joey, our vocalist. So he's got
Yeah.
some death metal and doom riffs going on. And I just love the way that song turned out. So I can't wait for people to hear that.
As soon as you said the title, I'm like, yeah, that's Joey's song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is him through and through for sure.
That's awesome. For you personally, which song did you find the most difficult, or the one that gave you the hardest time in the recording studio?
Well, personally for me, recording the bass tracks, it was all pretty straightforward. As far as the writing process went, though, I'll mention the song Lament of Dissonance, which is our drummer Vlad's song. Not that the song was super problematic or anything, but it was challenging to put together in the sense that he wrote it on a piano to start, and he showed us these piano parts. And basically, what we had to do was between his left and right hands, break it down into an arrangement for guitar and bass, right? So that was a little bit of a process.
Yeah.
Not that it was problematic or weird or anything, but it took a little bit of work, and
Hmm.
it became a more unique song because of that approach, I think.
Excellent. And do we get to hear the piano part on the album?
No, it got completely
Oh,
rearranged for guitar and bass, but there are some other cool parts on there involving keyboard stuff. There's a little bit
okay.
of organ sounds on Gut Shoveler, for example. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of that kind of thing to dig into.
Excellent. Now, I hate to ask, but because Piss was a single in
Mm.
2019, do you ever do us the fans, will we ever get to hear it a part of an album one of these days?
Well, funny you should ask, because actually, surprise, we put it on the CD copy of Concordance as a bonus track.
Oh
So
wow.
if people are interested in grabbing the physical version, I know a lot of heavy metal fans are into that kind of thing. You can get Pissed actually with Concordance on this album.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Excellent. And you can get the albums on your Bandcamp page, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that's
Yeah.
right. So it's varius.bandcamp.com, and Varius is Varius. And
And
go ahead.
oh no, you go ahead.
I was just going to say we have a pre-order set up there right now. You can go and grab the CD, and it's out tomorrow, so uh, it's ready for your listening, and you can order it anytime you want if you're interested, and we'd love it if you did.
Excellent. For you, you know, with the delays and waiting to get into the recording booths, and now the day has come for your new child to be brought into the world.
Yeah.
How excited are you to be releasing Concordance?
I'm so excited personally. I've been waiting for this for so long. And like I said, we started recording it basically at the very beginning of 2020, and now here we are near the end of 2021, still waiting for it to come out. Thankfully, only less than 6 hours, right? So we're
Yeah.
finally here, and it feels really good to me.
Excellent. Actually, another question about Piss. So Piss will only be available on the album through the CDs, correct? It won't be like part of Spotify or Bandcamp or anything?
It is on both Spotify and Bandcamp on its own as a standalone, and then
Okay.
just for anyone who would like to hear it on a physical version, it's packaged with the Concordance CD.
Okay, excellent. I sorry, I just wanted to ask that just so maybe just people could have a better understanding of what they were getting into.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a good question, and all of it, everything, the Concordance EP and Piss, so it's all on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that.
And a question I always ask, and a question that I feel is always important to the metal genre itself, is about the album artwork. Because this album artwork is very nice. It's kind of dark, it's kind of ominous, but it's also kind of nice. What made you guys want to go with this certain album artwork to be the face of concordance?
It wasn't the easiest image to come up with. We wanted to go for something that supported the idea of concordance, which is coming together in agreement. And so we knew we had to tie together somehow these four different forces, as in the four different songs in the artwork. And we brainstormed a whole bunch of different ways to do that. And eventually we decided on this concept. It's based on the image of the Last Supper, the famous painting of Jesus and his followers and stuff seated at the table, but we've actually replaced those people with different representatives of the different songs. So we've got a king for the song Golden Crown, a necromancer or a warlock for the track Concordance of the Legion Fall. The fella in the middle, he's appeared on our artwork before, the Red Messenger character from our very first EP. He's just a kind of conceptual guy who's been along for the ride the whole time in our artwork, I guess. The next guy represents the song Lament of Dissonance. He's supposed to represent a kind of composer, like Beethoven, Mozart type character.
Yeah.
And that's because the song is about actually the struggles of a creative writer or a creative musician. And then finally we have the Gut Shoveler character, a guy with a bloodied up shovel. He'll kill you. I can tell you that much.
Excellent. And I got one last question for you, Joel. It's a fun question we ask here for all of our first-time appearing guests here on Thrashers Paradise. It's very simple. Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy, of course. He would probably strangle the other guy with his bullet belt and stomp him out with his cowboy boots.
I love that answer. I think that's the most gruesome answer we've ever received for that question.
We have to prepare people for what they're going to hear with Varius. It's pretty brutal.
Fair. You're not wrong. Fair enough. Joel, thank you so much for joining me today on Thrashers Paradise to discuss concordance, a bit of the band, and a whole lot. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you want to say to the people that are going to be watching this on YouTube?
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you, Colin, for having me. And if you'd like to pick up our new EP Concordance, or even if you don't want to pick up the CD copy, you're more than welcome to stream it. It comes out tomorrow, November 5th. It's going to be on Spotify, Apple Music, any streaming platform. And of course, the CD is available from our Bandcamp, various.bandcamp.com. So we'd appreciate it if you checked it out. We'd love it if you did.
Excellent. And until next time, everyone, keep on thrashing.
Thanks, Colin. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.